Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at some simple interest. So when we're calculating simple interest, the formula is interest equals principal times the rate times time. Okay, so principal, that's how much money we start with. The rate is the interest rate, and then the time is usually measured in years. Okay, so using this formula, as long as we have any three of these, we can calculate the fourth. Okay, so let's do a couple examples here. Let's do calculate the interest on a $500 principal. So you deposit $500. You make 4% for your interest rate, and we want to know how much money we'll have, say, after 4 years. Okay, and again, this is simple interest, so this is not actually the formula that banks would use to calculate your interest. That's a little more complex, but we're just doing simple interest today. So we're looking for the interest, which means all we have to do is plug these values in. So interest equals principal times a rate. So 4%, remember we have to write that as a decimal, so that's 0.04 times the time of 4 years. Okay, and then to calculate interest, it's just as simply as multiplying excuse me, all of those together. So 500 times 0.04 times 4 years gets us $80. So over the course of 4 years, my money will have earned $80 in interest. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's do another one. So again, we're going to use I equals PRT. And let's say we know the interest, the rate, and the time, and we kind of want to work backwards and figure out what my principal was. Okay, so let's say I earned an interest of $950. That was earned with a rate of, let's say, 7.5%, and the time it took me to make that money was 8 years. Okay, so now we've got the interest earned, we've got the rate, we've got the time, and we want to know how much money did we start with. Okay, so no big deal, we just plug our numbers into the appropriate spots. So when we rewrite this and we substitute $950 in for the interest, principal is still what we're looking for, so that's our P. The rate, 7.5, so we want to write that as a decimal, which is 0.075 times the time of 8 years. Now to figure this out, we're going to bring our 950 down. I'm going to put these two together here first, so I'm going to simplify 0.075 times 8, and that gets me 0.6. Okay, now another way to think of this is basically just a one-step equation here. We've got P times 0.6, which can also be written as 0.6P, and then to undo the multiplication here, we just do the opposite operations. So we divide both sides because it's an equation by 0.6, and 950 divided by 0.6 is $1,583, and it's actually a repeating 3 there, so we'll round up to the, or we'll round to the nearest penny. So this was our starting principal, $1,583 over the course of 8 years at 7.5% earned us $950 in interest. Okay? So a couple different ways to use that interest formula I equals PRT. Hope that helps.